I watched Kuroko's Basketball 35 times and I'm currently planning to binge watch the entire series again. Actually, I'm starting to question myself whether I'm crazy or not because why the hell on earth I kept on watching a single anime again and again, I just can't move on. Pretty obvious that I love the show. I've seen a lot of sports anime, Prince of Tennis, Haikyuu, Hajime no Ippo, Free, Blue Lock, Ace of Diamond, Prince of Stride, Yuamushi Pedal, Slum Dunk, and many more, but I just can't let go of Kuroko's basketball. Back when I was in high school, probably 8th grade, I first discovered this series and I'm pretty convinced this one will do good. And I think it's because Kuroko's basketball never really felt like a basketball anime to me. Sure, there's the court, the games, the buzzer beaters, but underneath all of that, it's a show about people trying to find their way back to each other. That's the part that kept me coming back 35 times. Not the dunks, the friendship underneath the dunks. The generation of miracles started as teammates at Teco, all on the same team. And together they were basically unbeatable, best friends even. But somewhere along the way, winning stopped being enough. Each one started chasing being the strongest individually. And basketball stopped being something they loved together and turned into something they used to crush everyone else, including eventually each other. That's when they drifted apart. Kuroko was there for all of it, and he's the one who actually lost something when the team fell apart. Kagami comes in later, with no history with any of them. He's just a rival who happens to be strong enough to challenge them. That's exactly why he matters. He's the outsider who forces the generation of miracles to actually play basketball again, instead of just proving a point. So, really, the story is Kuroko trying to pull his old friends back to who they used to be, with Kagame as the wild card who makes it impossible. At least for me. That hit different for me as well because I think everyone's had that. A friend group that grew up and grew apart, people you used to talk to every day who became strangers because life happened, ego happened, or you just stopped trying. Kuroko's basketball made me want to text people I hadn't talked to in years. Now let's talk about the power scaling. Because this is where the show gets ridiculous. And I mean that as a compliment. Every character has a thing. Kuroko has misdirection, basically becoming invisible on court. Kisei can copy any move he sees once. Murasakibara is just a wall with arms. Midorima shoots from literally anywhere. Half court, full court, doesn't matter. If he's set up, it's going in. And then there's Aomine. Aomine doesn't even need a thing. He's just broken on a fundamental level. Raw speed, raw power. A guy who got so good he started getting bored of basketball itself. Which honestly might be the scariest character trait in the entire show. And then on top of all of that, Akashi has the Emperor Eye, which lets him predict your next move before you even know you're making it. None of this is realistic basketball. This is anime logic stuck on top of basketball, and somehow it works because the show commits to it completely. And as ridiculous as it sounds, that escalation is addictive. Every arc, every tournament, someone new shows up who's stronger, who has a more broken ability, and you think, okay, how do they do this? And they always find a way. Here's the most embarrassing part of this whole video. I actually tried some of their moves on an actual court in real life. I tried Kuroko's misdirection pass, which, by the way, does not work when you're 5'6" and everyone can clearly see you the entire time. I tried doing Kisses' whole copy the move thing after watching one YouTube tutorial, looked like I forgot how my own legs work. Then I tried Himuro's Mirage shot just like how he did it, but I looked like an absolute idiot in front of actual people who at this point were just staring at me like I'd lost it. Got scolded on the spot, not by a coach, by my own friend, who at that point was questioning our friendship a little bit. And then I tried Hayama's lightning dribble, which is supposed to be this insanely fast, low blink and you missed it dribble. Mine looked like I was trying to find a contact lens I dropped on the court. Zero speed, zero lightning, just a guy crouched over, dribbling like he owed the ball money. I full on pretend I was a member of the generation of miracles, the uncrowned kings, and some other characters in front of people who had no idea what I was talking about. And it was hell of a fun. That's the thing nobody tells you getting obsessed with a sports anime. It doesn't just live in your screen time, it follows you onto the actual court. You start playing differently, you start watching basketball differently, you start watching the sport differently, you start seeing the game as a story instead of just a game. So yeah, 35 times, maybe more by the time this video goes up. I'm not saying Kuroko's Basketball is the greatest sports anime ever made. I'm saying it's the one that got into my system and never left. And honestly, if a show can make a grown man cosplay misdirection pass alone on an empty court, I think that's the highest compliment I can give it. If you ever rewatch a show way more times than you'd admit out loud, let me know in the comments. I want to know I'm not alone in this. And if you've enjoyed this one, hit like and subscribe. Because this isn't the last time I'm going to embarrass myself for the sake of anime nostalgia. More of these are coming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.